We've got, believe it or not, £1,000 worth of shoes. £1,000 at full retail worth of shoes here. First pair of Paul Smith. Paul Smith, this is fantastic. It's not Paul Smith, it's Joseph Cheaney. Joseph Cheaney have made these for Paul Smith. It's got that lovely insock inside, Paul Smith in there, look. And it's got the pull tag on the back, Paul Smith on the pull tag. And it's got this bit of a silliness on the heel there, which hasn't worked out because it's come off. Look there. So, Paul Smith. Are Paul Smith great shoes? Now, Paul Smith is, I'm sure, Rob, it's a fashion house, isn't it? And what they've done is they've come to Joseph Cheaney and said, can you make us a great shoe? This is a shoe we want these details in it, we're going to sell this. This is called the Oswend.
Yeah.
Oswend. Retail, full retail, £500 Paul Smith shoes. Now, when you go on their website, Robbie's telling me, because he does a bit of research on this, he says their shoes can be round about the £230 mark. Yeah, is it some?
It started at £295.
£295 and
Nowadays was made in India.
so £295 for a shoe, a fashion shoe. Fashion shoe. This isn't a fashion shoe. This is a bloody great shoe. This is a proper shoe. But fashion shoes from them, £295, saying that they're made in India, and then they got some specials on at £235. Rob's got me a few notes down here. But anyway, don't get those shoes mistaken with the special shoes. Would that be from Joseph Cheaney? Would that be £500? Probably not as much as that, but it's got a few little nice touches on it, and I wouldn't knock anybody paying £500 for that shoe. I really wouldn't. A few little touches on it. However, our customer has paid £80 for this shoe on some sort of eBay site, or do we know what site it was? eBay, yeah, he's paid £80 for it, and nowhere at all really on there. It's been worn, but hardly anywhere. It used to say embossed in there, every day is a beginning day or is a new beginning. It used to say that on there, but who cares? The sole has got all its strength in there. The only thing that's happened is these fancy bits of colour have started to come off. Would you glue them back down? No, you wouldn't. You'd pull them off, and you could, look, you could just wear that shoe exactly as it is, like that. You know, there's a little bit there at the back, but you would soon wear that nice, and when it was ready for repair, you'd come into your cobblers, they'd rip that heel off, put a new heel on, and you'd be away. You could, if you wanted, have a non-slip rubber cover sole on there, and would you absolutely treasure these shoes if you'd paid £500 for them? You probably would. But that's a great shoe. It really is a great shoe. I think something like this direct from Joseph Cheaney would be a gnat's noogly under the £400 mark. And they are just so well made. And, 10 years in, you've still got this shoe. It's going to seem like it was cheap. Anyway, our customer paid £80 for this size 9. Not a mark on them. They're absolutely beautiful. A great buy at £80. He's going to have them stripped off and rebuilt with a commando. I think it says on his ticket here, factory commando white stitching. So he's going to commando with a light coloured stitching. I do hope we get some pictures of them. Sometimes we do a video like this, they go to Paul waltzes through them all, and then they're gone. They go to Anne and they get sent out, and then I go, oh, where are the shoes? Oh, it's too late, they've gone. The customer's got them back. So I do hope we get a video of them with a light coloured stitch on here and a commando sole on them. And of course, the heel stack. I hope they've gone for some sort of natural edge on there, but they will look great. So that's the first pair. Full retail, £500. Bought for £80. Great shoe. You didn't have to spend any money on them, but the customer's going to invest £130 in those. Maybe a little bit of postage back to him as well. He's going to end up with a great shoe for round about, what will that be, 210, maybe 220 by the time he's done. But he will have something unique as well. Nobody else will have a pair like that. Fabulous shoes. Next ones, this pair of Purdey boots. Purdey, the gun people. Yeah, we've got guns here. Obviously ours are deactivated just for show, but we are shooting people, so we do occasionally get the guns out. Definitely not Purdey's, you know, because Rob, you were looking at a Purdey, it was £100,000, was it? For more than £100,000. So this is a pair of Purdey boots. Of course, Purdey do not make boots. What they do is they find a manufacturer to make a nice boot for them. And this is the Purdey boot. Not a lot of branding on it though. It is nice. It is very nice. Look inside there. Who have these been made by? Grafton, does it say? 8.5 E fitting. The E fitting should give you an idea of who's made these. Rob got in touch with Purdey, sent them an email and said, I've got a pair of your boots, lovely boots. Can I just inquire who made them for you? And they said, we're not allowed to give that information out. They were very nice, sent him a lovely email back. He also said one of the boots has lost its insock. Look at the insock inside there. It's stamped with the Purdey. I don't know if you're getting that. We'll put a picture up. Let's put a picture up of it later. We'll take a good picture. Anyway, it is a beautiful boot, a lovely boot, a beautiful toe shape, slightly chiseled toe shape, day-night unit on the bottom, hardly worn, Purdey boots. There is a little bit of an issue with this one. The insock is missing, like we said, and look at the damage in the back. Look, can you see that there? Look at that branding. I wish that was on the outside, that Purdey. I would want them to sort of have it blazed on there, Purdey. But that's just me. This is a beautiful pair of boots. And the wear on them is, do you know, they are 25% worn on that day-night sole unit. The fact that the insock is missing means nothing. Cut a piece of leather out, put the sponge underneath, the proper foam sponge underneath, then put that insole in. That'd be absolutely fine. The damage up the back, well, the damage up the back sometimes just doesn't bother you. You just keep wearing them. It doesn't feel that rough. It's worn through, but yeah, no, I don't know. We can, of course we can, put a liner up the back. And it does take a bit of time. And that liner might be £35–40 on the pair of them to make them both the same. We do have this lining material that Paul gets from Northampton, from Euro Leathers in Northampton. And he puts a strip up the back and it gets over the problem that's in the back there. But a lot of the time, you could just wear them. I promise you, it's not an issue. How long would it last? Yeah, it'd last forever, I think. Anyway, somebody's worn that. Why has it happened? Well, it's happened because the boot might have been a little bit too big. It's had a little bit too much movement on there. You know, who knows why it happens. But anyway, that's the boots. They are really, really nice. How much were they? £8.62, including postage. £5 something for this Purdey boot, size 8.5 E fitting. I bet you these fit me like a treat. I bet they do. Do they fit you? Oh, Rob, well done. Well done. It's the toe shape, the last. So, here's the shoe. We've just got a little bit, Rob is saying, on the toe here, that they just see that where the rubber has extended over a little bit there. Yeah, the stitching's there. Everything's fine about it. But the rubber over time has just extended a little bit. It could just be trimmed off. Could be left as it is, just polished up and worn, a new lace in there as it is. Are you, Rob, going to have some unit put on this? Are you going to have 100%? 100%. Right. Are we going to do a repair on the back liner for you?
Maybe.
On these £8.62 beautiful boots.
Because they've got 5mm left on the heel.
Yep.
I was going to wear them for a bit.
Right.
Sure, and rub that 5mm off the heel. And then decide what I want to
see how they go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Rob, you haven't got a mic on, so don't say too much because everybody will be bitching and moaning about it. This here, look, this here is how this boot will look when it's on with denim. Will you wear it with denim? Yeah. Isn't that a classic? And I even like the shabby chic look about them. I like the fact that they look a little bit lived in. Rob, I know you're going to polish them and make them look.
I want you to do edges as well.
Yeah, you're going to polish them up and make them look beautiful. We'll get a picture of them polished up. But that is just a classic boot. £8.62, absolute bargain. You know, and some people are saying, "Oh, I'm not going to wear anybody else's shoes." I would, no problem at all. These boots are as fresh as a daisy. They are beautiful. No issue at all with those. They feel fabulous. This manufacturer, you know who they are, don't you? You know who they are. You've worked it out already. Who made those? You know, are you really going to get sent an insole in there? I don't think they're going to go to that trouble to send you an insole in there, especially not if they've seen this reel and see that it's, you know, they cost you £8 odd. But a really, really nice pair of boots for nothing, for absolutely nothing. So this is £1,000 worth of shoes, over £1,000 worth of shoes at full retail price. We see in the comments people buying shoes saying, you know, they'd never buy a new pair, they would only ever buy secondhand. I see comments saying, no, I wouldn't touch secondhand shoes. Well, you know, great, good for you, that's fabulous. I totally understand that. That's fine. So just give us a bit of feedback. What do you think, you know, of this idea? What should these Purdeys have on? You know, I think a nice big white wedge sole would be ideal for Rob on the Purdeys. Yeah, lovely. Just give us a bit of feedback. Rob in Europe, thank you so much for your money that will go towards our coffees. That was really good of you. And yeah, we'll get these sorted and get some pictures for you.